Okay, good deal. What's up, guys? This is done. The kernel is configured. Okay? And I found out what the problem was. The problem was me. Okay? So back in my tutorial, I think it was 6 point, in the section, I did not install diffutils. I configured it, and I blah 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 blah, got all mushy about how I don't, install my operating system until I make a video so you can install yours, and how we're doing it together, and blah blah blah, and how food makes your eyes not dry out. Yeah, well, I didn't do make install on diff, and that was a serious blunder. So I'm sorry, but I don't think we should have any problems. Um, the binaries are there, the packages are there, or the stuff is there, so I don't think we should have any problems from here on out. But who can tell until we actually get this thing going? So let's go ahead and continue to build now. But the kernel configured just well after I fixed that, after we reinstalled diff. But man, what a shocker. What a shocker. Okay, so now I'm going to say Control A, Shift S, Control A, Control Tab, Control A, Control C, exit, and we need to move our stuff around here. We did make and make modules install, okay, and now let's copy over verbose arch x 86. I'm 64, so that's what I need to do. The book says for i380 or i686, 386, whatever. x86 architectures. So just do that up there. I'm gonna say bz image. I'm gonna copy that to boot vm linux dash 3.8.1 dash LFS dash 7.3. Okay. Good. And we need to copy V system map. I like to do it a little backwards, okay? And I'll say boot. Let's see, 3.8.1. Okay. And we need to copy over verbose dot config. We'll say dot config again, right? But take out the dot, and we want to say boot config dash 3.8.1. Good. Okay, good. And let's see, copy, or not copy, but it's tag down, and we need to install. I'm going to not do verbose. That's a lot of documentation that's going to come through. So let's say share doc linux dash 3.8.1. Okay. Okay. And copy our documentation all to user share doc linux 3.8.1. Okay. Omitting that directory. Okay, that's cool. That's okay. Let me tag up and look at that again. Apparently it's all sin now. Okay. Okay. Like I said, that was crazy. That was crazy. I just never installed it. I unpacked it. I watched myself. I unpacked it. It was a car accident. I packed it and just removed it, and that's all I did. So I think that if diff was such a big problem back then, okay, that we would have had more errors before we actually ran to the last thing we have to install in the operating system, which is the kernel. Okay, so diff was pretty high up there, and I think we would have had errors with XZTools and a lot of other programs because they have like ZDiff and stuff like that. I think we would have a lot more errors if diff was that vital. Okay, now diff is vital, but what I'm trying to get at here is I don't think we have to go back and build any of those other packages to build on top of diff, is what I'm saying. So I think we would have had more errors. As you see, we had no errors at all. Everything was clean, ready to go. Okay. So the only problem was that diff just wasn't installed, and we found out about it in the kernel. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. So let's keep going. Configuring the Linux module load order. I don't know if I have to do this or not, but I usually do it anyway. It just looks good. Okay. So let's say I want to vi this. Vi, no. Let me install verbose mode 755. Create directories as needed. Etsy modprobe modprobe.d. Good. And I want to say vi etsy modprobe.d usb.config. Okay. And I'm kind of glad that you guys got to see some of that. Bad syntax highlighting. Let's change this again. I'm glad you guys got to see some of. I'm glad you guys got to see that could be catastrophe right there, because that would help you if you ran into something similar or whatever like that. That would help you get past that. Okay. So I always welcome problems when I'm building. I mean, they're a pain in it, you know what, but I welcome when they happen and I can pull out of them, and I'm glad for them, because it's a good thing, because it kind of simulates some errors you may run across. You know what I mean? And it kind of also says too that it's not hopeless. You know, try to fix it. If you can't, you just can't. But it's not hopeless. And maybe you can use some techniques that I have in my videos to fix some of your problems if you run into any. So I welcome errors. I hate them with a passion. So scary. Install OHCI underscore HCD. Let's say sbin mod probe EHCI underscore HCD semi sbin mod probe dash I OHCI underscore HCD semi true. Alright, let's check this out. OHCI HCD sbin mod probe EHCI HCD sbin mod probe I OHCI HCD true. Good. Now we're just going to copy this line. I'm not typing that again. Peace. And let's check out this here. Let's say change this O down here to a U. The center can stay and the tail over here can change. Okay? Okay. Good. So right click. Control A, Control Tab. That's good. Grub, like I said, I'm not going to do anything with grub. I don't think. I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything before. Yeah, I didn't do anything before. But, if you have a grub loader, and which naturally you probably do since you are running the operating system, okay? And you don't have grub 2, I'd stay away from this. Okay? Well, it's just a bootloader. You already got a bootloader on your machine. If you have grub 2 on there, go ahead and update grub, and you would find your LFS easier that way. Okay? But I don't want to do any of this, so I'm going to skip this. And if you want to do any of it, you can read it. It's okay. It's okay. Chapter 9, the end. Well done. done. Thank you. I'm not going to do that crazy file. I'm just going to um, echo 7.3 into etc lfs release. Okay, good. And let's see. Get counted. Go get counted if you want to. I did my first time. I was very, very proud of my 6.2 install. Go to that site, get counted, let everybody know that you are the dude. For real. Now, previously up there it talked about if you're going to retain a source tree extracted directory, they should churn that to root. I'm not going to retain this. Okay, so I'm just going to remove my extracted directory. So let's say remove Linux. Okay. Like I said, I'm glad that happened. I don't think we'll have any more problems. No more problems that may arise just pop out of nowhere or anything else like that. You know, say 6 months down the road. I don't think that's going to happen. If that was going to happen, we should have had massive failures beforehand. Okay, so now it said that. Let's move on to booting a new Shining LFS system. Usually, I just go ahead and say exit reboot. Okay, but maybe that's not the way to do it. So we want to ensure, say, a clean dismount of our partitions and everything else like that. Okay. Even though reboot shuts it down, actually shutdown is actually better than reboot, I think, or I've heard. So, you could just say shutdown, but they want us to unmount this cleanly, and it makes sense. It makes sense. So let's say if then we'll say h $LFS dev shared memory. Okay. Control H tab. Then we had to say link equals $ read link $LFS / dev shared memory. Link equals $LFS. Or link equals $ read link $LFS dev shared memory. Umount for both $LFS / link. Unset link. Else umount for both $LFS dev shared memory. Close it with fee. Okay. Shim or shared memory is unmounted. Then we want to say umount fee $LFS dev say proc sys, and finally our LFS system. Good deal. Control H tab. And it says here if you're doing a multiple partition scheme on your file system, you got root and all that other stuff like that, you need to unmount those too. Okay. That says shut down the system. We can say reboot right now. But I'm not going to do that. I want to exit this first. Say clear. Let me start tidying this up over here. And let me say exit this here. Okay. And I can go ahead. I'm going to say reboot. And I'm going to catch you. What am I going to do? So I didn't install grub 2. Okay. Okay. Now you can go ahead with your grub. And you can say update with this system here. You say update grub or grub 2. Okay. If you're running Grub already, Grub Legacy, you can run update Grub. Grub 2, I don't see why you can't run update Grub, but you might have to run update Grub 2. Okay? And all that's going to do is just going to load up whatever kernels it finds on the hard drive. It's going to load those up into, blah blah, and you'll have a whatever right there. You'll have a menu there you can click on to update, or not update, but to run the new install at boot. Okay. So what I have Grub Legacy on my Linux Mint machine. So I'm going to reboot, and then I'm going to reboot into the Linux Mint machine, and I'm going to say update Grub, and then I'm going to start my reboot on LFS. And I think I'll give you a screenshot of that too. I don't expect to log in. It's going to be a little kafooey. So probably a couple more tutorials on how to fix that, and we're all done. Okay, so let's say reboot. I'm going to stop the video. I'll catch you when I power this baby up.